Welcome back, PC World fans, and welcome to PC World News. And this week, Microsoft has dominated the headlines from multiple PC gaming and game-specific news to a lot when it comes to Windows 11, including expected launch windows, as well as some details that have turned out quite controversial. Without further ado, let's jump right into Windows 11 details and when we can expect it. PC World's Mark Hackman dove into the expected time frame for when we might see the operating system come in full force. Sure, right now you can get access through the insider builds of the current state of Windows 11, and if you'd like to see how things are shaping up, hit the card in the upper right hand corner to take a tour of it with us, but we're talking about a full-bore retail release here. And thanks to Catch by The Verge, it seems that Microsoft had the crumb dropped right in front of us the entire time, as the Microsoft event featured an example message in Teams with the phrase, "turning it up to 11" in October, with even more hints on the screenshots that Microsoft posted of Windows 11 with the clock and calendar set to 11:11 a.m. on October 20th, 2021. Now, of course, this is not official, and Microsoft haven't released anything other than it's due by holiday of 2021. So we'll keep you afloat on this one as we receive more information. Now onto the controversial side of Windows 11 and why it will be leaving behind so many PCs, and it's not just about TPM. But if you're curious about the entirety of the Trusted Platform module and the discussion around it, Adam has an excellent interview with a security professional regarding TPM 2.0 and Secure Boot. But to make things more confusing, they announced that Windows 11 would not support 7th generation or older Intel CPUs, as well as 1st generation Ryzen 1000 series CPUs or older. And while originally the reason was around the TPM, which didn't make much sense because Kaby Lake as well as Zen can and do support TPMs, it turns out more to do with the actual performance of the security features that will be enabled through hardware virtualization, namely virtualization-based security, VBS, and Hypervisor Protected Code Integrity, or HVCI. Now, Microsoft is claiming this reason isn't arbitrary, as our understanding is that enabling such features on, say, Intel's 6th generation Skylake incurs penalties upwards of 30% of performance to the CPU, and that's not exactly something you'll want to deal with, especially if you've invested in a high-end X299 platform. If anything, this is showing that each of those generations had a little more going on under the hood than minor tweaks, whether it be from Kaby to Coffee Lake or Zen to Zen Plus. As for more on the rundown from Gordon on this situation, hit the link down in the description below. You'll definitely want to do that. Now, let's talk about gaming, because what else are you supposed to do with your PC? I mean, that's what they're for, right? Unless you're still struggling to get a decent GPU upgrade. However, this news might actually be good for you. See, Brad brings the great news to the people that the Xbox Cloud Gaming is now opened up to all Game Pass Ultimate subscribers on PC, including iOS on your mobile devices. But it's still in beta form, so don't expect it to be the most perfect or polished experience. However, it is a really good experience. You'll be playing the games through your web browser, which may seem odd, but once you get the gears turning, now you'll quickly forget about that and you'll be focused on the game at hand. Now, something to keep in mind here is that you'll not have access to the PC side of the Xbox Game Pass library, but rather the console side of the catalog, which is still just as many games and does open you up to a new set of games if you've only been using it on the PC to play PC games, so that'll be a nice bonus. Now, this is still a cloud gaming service, so it comes with the drawbacks of that. However, unlike GeForce Now, which is a great service on its own and even has a free tier if you want to give that a try, you'll be limited to Xbox games rather than your own library, but with over 100 titles to dig into and no need for fancy high-end graphics cards or busting out your wallet for additional game purchases, it's overall a win in my book. Speaking of wins, Microsoft Flight Simulator hopes to win over more gamers and hardware enthusiasts by loosening the reins of the hard CPU overhead experienced with the next-gen Microsoft Flight Simulator update, reducing the CPU overhead as well as memory requirements. Anyone who's tried running this title will know that it can bring even the beefiest of CPUs to their knees, and quite honestly, that's turned off a lot of folks from even considering installing the title. But what does that mean in terms of actual performance? Well, in an interview with the developer, Asobo showcased a PC with a Core i7-9700K and an RTX 2060, nearly doubling performance from 32 FPS to a smooth 58 FPS, and still having some CPU overhead to work with when running the game at a 4K render with a render scale set to 40 and graphics on Ultra. Now it's still a monster to run, but much more domesticated once this update rolls out. As we roll out of here for this week's PC World News, I wanted to let you know on Wednesday, July 7th, Adam and Gordon will be hosting an AMD-sponsored live streaming event revolving around the building of a $2,000 all-AMD gaming PC featuring the Ryzen 7 5800X along with the Radeon RX 6700 XT. And after they finish the build, they'll show you how to configure for the absolute best performance and configure settings like Radeon Boost to give you the edge. Well, folks, that's been it for this week's PC World News. I hope you found it informative and slightly entertaining, if possible. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to PC World for more PC hardware coverage.